Do you feel you're not good enough in some part of your life? So it could be in terms of money or in terms of getting a good job, or it could be in terms of love relationship or other stuff, right? So it could be any aspect of our life, and we feel we just don't cut it, making friends and so on. So, and it could be, no, I feel good enough. It's just those other guys over there, they treat me badly. So then we can think of that. Maybe there's some mirroring going on. There's some, the world is showing us that we have some underlying luggage that we're not conscious of. So if you're intrigued by this, then I'm going to be talking with you in this free webinar video about some different aspects of this in terms of current life and childhood and past life and etc. So if you're interested, listen in for a little bit. You may want to know who I am first, a little bit of that. So my name is Rémi. I've been in the helping field now for some decades, and training and background in couple and family therapy, and the type of work that I do is multidimensional, multidimensional transformation. So I work with various energies to help transmute stuff. So I have very high expertise in terms of feeling not good enough. I grew up as a Catholic, and I had very high expertise. I felt I absolutely was a horrendous human being, even from when I was very small. Because Catholics specialize in teaching you shame and guilt, that you really are a horrendous human being, and I totally bought it. However, it's not that simple. I chose to incarnate there, and I was a highly sensitive person, and I inhaled those energies as well. So you may or may not believe in past life, for example, that it's related, but just take in what feels right for you. There are many angles for this. I did absolutely wonderful work connecting with a whole bunch of helpers of various types to help me heal from this and other things. Absolutely nothing worked. So I'm going to show you in this video a method that helped me to transform these things. So first of all, let's talk a little bit more about feeling not good enough and some of the sources and causes, and then we'll do a little bit of an exercise. So this lifetime, start with childhood. If somebody told you you don't cut it, and then you don't cut it, and then you don't cut it, whether it was at home, dad or mom or both, or a sibling treated you really badly, you're low on the totem pole, or you're irrelevant, or you don't exist, or you shouldn't be here. I hate you're destroying my life, mom says, for example. So there's that stuff growing up, and very often it's more subtle, right? It doesn't need to be like a giant bomb. It can just be the little subtle messages. For example, in some families, the message is that boys are better than girls, or vice versa. And then you go out into the world, and then there can be bullying at school or in the community. There can be prejudice because you're the wrong color, because you're Jewish, because you're Muslim, because you're Hindu, because you get it. So the various reasons why people love to pick on particular groups. And we have some politicians these days that have very high expertise at helping us to be afraid of those other guys over there, and helping us to hate them. And we say, yeah, to help us feel like we're part of a group and so on. They would thump our chests, and right? So there's one gang that are chest thumpers, and that other gang feel oppressed or irrelevant and so on. So that there's dichotomy that's happening. These energies in terms of good enough, not good enough, are coming up to the surface more fully to be transmuted these days. So there's that stuff. Then there's ancestral, right? So I mentioned Jewish or black and etc. So depending on what part of the world you come from, it can be a crucial issue. And then there's a collective consciousness, like collective energy in terms of I think of a few decades ago in the West, females, a lot of females felt not good enough just because they were females. And then they said, we're not putting up with this anymore, right? In the 80s, starting in the 80s. And so they stood up and it came into their power. Now a lot of males end up feeling not good enough. And so now they're thumping their chests, a lot of them, and saying, yeah, well, watch this. We are good enough. And they can go to an extreme, some of them, right? So it's complex. So there's all these energies. We can be impacted by all of these things. And you may have worked with a whole bunch of different helpers, as I did, and it simply doesn't cut it because it's either you're missing some things, or you're using transformational methods that don't cut it for this issue. It gets more complex than this. There's past life issues as well. So for me, feeling that I was a horrendous human being from the very beginning, I came with that from previous lifetimes. So that can be related to various things, right? So current life, obviously, trauma. It can relate to past life trauma. It can relate to vows of poverty, vows of staying away from love relationships. That part of you is yearning for love relationship and nobody comes close to you because you have a vow in relation to that, for example, or a vow of poverty, no money, no funny. So see, so it's complex. And then as we grow more, then we can be, we're quite clean and all the various subpersonalities, my inner child and my inner critic and so forth, and work at healing those various things. And but I still feel, not good enough. So how come? You have to hunt and dig. We've created a webinar series to help people transform, learn, and transform, assess very precisely what the issues are, whether it's this lifetime or ancestral or past life, or when you were 3 years old, or in utero in mom's belly, your pregnancy wasn't wanted, etc. And assess all of that very precisely and learn how to transform them, teach a lot of methods. So we have a webinar coming up. It's free for people who come the first time, and it's very inexpensive for people who've taken one of them before. So there we'll be taking people through various exercises to help transform different aspects in terms of feeling not good enough. I'm going to give you one method for now. So I told you that I tried all kinds of things, all kinds of helpers, psychologists and psychiatrists and psychics and channelers and on and on and on. Didn't work. Nothing worked. Nothing. Part of it is I had resistance. I was blocking. That was one part. But also the methods weren't sufficient. So I've had to learn more and more and more deeply. So if you're interested, here's an example that I learned some decades ago. So I told you that I grew up as a Catholic, shame and guilt and blah, blah, blah. I think of shame as being the first layer of our aura. It constricts us, makes us feel small. And shaming, for me, it was Catholic and feeling unwanted growing up and etc. Being bullied as a kid and so on. And for you, it can be a different reason, but shame is a crucial aspect of not good enough. Shame and guilt. But it's not the only stuff, as I said. So try that now. If you're driving, don't do this. So try violet. The energy is violet flame. You can think of that as the energy from a particular being, Saint Germain, if you want. Not necessary. Have the energy go to the first 2 inches around your body, 5 centimeters. Do that now. I'll be quiet for 30 seconds while you do this. Imagine it just burns away. Layers of shame. A little more deeply. I'm feeling some at your back. Imagine clearing there. Shame is hidden from us. We often don't think of us as having shame. It's just, I don't cut it, or the world, no, nobody loves me, or God is against me, or etc. Or because I'm whatever it is, Ukrainian, everybody tries to bomb me, whatever. And these things can be valid, and we chose to incarnate there. Okay. Check and see how you're feeling as compared to half a minute ago. So the different energies that, like for example, energies of you were told over and over that you didn't cut it. It's like a dark cloud over your head. Wherever you go, there's the dark cloud from childhood, or from ancestral, or etc. Your gender, and so on. So if you're interested in learning more, and we have this free webinar coming up that you can choose to register for, hit the button below, and we'll see you on the call. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.